Okay guys, so I'm gonna be recording a few tutorials that will help us in order to speed up the learning of Autodesk Maya. I'm gonna be teaching Maya in specific direction of learning towards design and architecture. Let's see how we can do it together. Yeah, you get some skills so we can move on faster. So the idea is that I'm gonna be giving you always, you will get with every Maya tutorial I'm gonna give you, you will get one folder, and inside you will get always a handout. Probably also, like some of them you're getting a handout, and then you're getting also some kind of support files in case it's needed, they are needed. Okay, so in this case we'll start with the very basics, so introduction, interface, and navigation. And in this one you will see that there is a PDF, which I have it open here right now, which I'm trying to to go through everything you need. Okay, I have some comments, and also when there is one tool you get this arrow, so it's telling you which menu is the tool and how the tool is called. These two handouts were done for Maya 2014, so you might find that the interface is changed slightly, but I think tools and commands are called the same, so you always can find it. Otherwise, just following the tutorial will be kind of easy. So when you open Maya, you will find something like this. Okay, probably your Maya has a little bit less stuff going on like mine. Probably will look more like something like something more like that. Okay, so there's no outliner. I'm gonna close everything so it looks like yours. Just close it. Sorry, it will look like that. Okay, so the thing is, Maya is such a powerful program, but also it has so many commands that it's really hard to display all of them at once. Okay, so it's quite handy when you're working with two screens, so you can have one of the menus and the other one you can start moving. You have this pull down menu. So basically what I was doing in the first page is I was trying to I got this online where you find somebody was doing this diagram, like writing the names of everything, so you can go through that, but basically I'm gonna go through this quite quickly. So basically you have this the main program lines, you have here the main icons that you're gonna need, and this part here is called the shelves. Okay, so basically this is kind of a graphic sort list of all the main stuff you're gonna need. The software is so big, so when you look here under window, if I change this, you have some kind of pull down menu where you can change according to what you're gonna do when you're rigging. So some of these things are changing. When you do animations, some of these are changing. So basically Maya is configuring your interface according to what you're gonna do. In this case we're gonna keep it under modeling. Okay, so here you have the toolbox. So basically here you have the main tools, and basically you have some kind of layout saved here. Down here you have the animation tools and the commands bar. The animation tool is because Maya, it was not meant for architectural purpose, so it's a software which is done for basically it was done for cartoon movies. Okay, it's so great that we can use and get really different results for architecture. So this is called a viewport. Okay, we can have more than viewport, that's why you have here the different layouts. So you can have 4 views layout. Just by hitting the space bar you can go from one to another one. Okay, just place your mouse on top, hit the space bar, that's how you navigate from one to another one. Main menus here, we will go through them quickly. Basically I'm going to try to follow the PDF, so I want to be sure that I'm not getting lost. Okay, I mean actually not getting lost, but not skipping any tool. So basically this pull down menu is what I just showed you. Something that you need to know is like if something of these menus get loaded, you can find it under UI elements. Now it's not there anymore on display, you find it under Windows, UI elements, and here everything we have here on the screen is what is written there. Okay, so basically you have the status line, all these things that you have there. You can, if for any chance something gets lost, you can just click it here. Maya, it has a particularity, which is you can float any menu by going here, so you can do this and then you float the menu, and then now we can play with these things. Okay, so you can have the menu here and you can check which is which thing. Okay, so we can close it. Then preferences, I'm going to show you this quickly. For the menus, I already show you menu box. Okay, so basically under Windows setting preferences, here is how you can set up your software. Okay, so in preferences you can set up all the preferences that the Maya software has, and then under hotkey editors you can set up all the shortcuts if you want to have them. So in the preferences here you can change some things for the display. Sometimes you have some issues and you can change here the kind of render engine that you have. Legacy is working quite fine and DirectX 11 is working quite fine for me, so depending on which kind of graphic card you have. Under settings you can set up WiseUp or SizeUp. I would recommend to keep WiseUp because some of the tools in Maya they are already predefined to work with WiseUp, so when you switch it it's a bit tricky. Here you have your axis, so WiseUp, Z and X, and then centimeter, degrees, and time for movies is 24 frames per second. Okay, keep it on also on the centimeter, even though we could see the meter, centimeter, and we will scale this later on. Good. So you can close this, and also under Windows setting preferences you have a plugin manager. So Maya has so many plugins that you don't need to load all of them at the same time. You just can upload and auto-load the one that you want and just click refresh. Okay, I think I have in the PDF you can find some screenshot of the ones that I'm using normally. Good. So some of the other things is like any tool in Maya, like when you go to edit, you will see that you have something like this. Like any command, it will appear like the name. You have it here. If there is a shortcut, it will appear here. Like cat is Control X. If you create a new shortcut, also it will be written here. Like I don't know, edit mess. We have extrude, Control E, and then you have always this menu box where you can open it and you can configure the settings of your command. Good. So decide to go quickly because I think that's the much more rough part explaining the software, which is getting to know everything. Hotkeys, as I said, you can create some hotkeys. Probably later we're gonna get into that. Shortcuts, Maya has a lot of shortcuts. So these images that I found is really useful because the main ones you can find them here. As I said, you can change them. I think following this it could be good. Let's get into doing some things and then let's try to start using some of the shortcuts and showing you the navigation. Okay, so basically the way you navigate in Maya is holding Alt. When you hold Alt and then left mouse button you can rotate. When you hold Alt and middle mouse button you can pan. Okay, and when you hold Alt and right mouse button you can zoom in and out. Also by scrolling with your mouse you can do it. Okay, so Alt, left mouse button, middle mouse button, and right mouse button. Now scrolling. Good. So if we start creating some objects, I'm gonna start teaching you polygon modeling. So you have surfaces and polygons, and we're gonna start with polygon. Okay, so let's go. Here you have the shell. Be sure that you are under polygon. So it's quite obvious because when you're working with surfaces, they are all shaded in blue. And then when you're working with polygon modeling, they are you have this kind of orange color. So let's create one polygon. Before you create things, I'm going to change something for you guys. When you create something, you have also the create menu here, and you can choose between polygon primitives, NURBS primitive and polygon primitives. And by default, you have this interactive creation is unchecked. Okay, so when you say create polygon primitives and this is not checked, and you say cube, basically you're getting one cube, which is 1 unit or 1 unit or 1 unit, or 1 unit, and it's always in the center of the scene. You can delete it, or you can scale it anyway, but I think it's much more interesting when you go under create and you go polygon primitives and you check interactive creation. When you click this one, next time you try to create something, create polygon primitives, you can get it from here. You can get that one. You just need to do what Maya is asking you. So it's asking drag for the base and then pull for the height. So in this way you can set up any dimensions you want. Okay, I can delete, just press and delete, and I can do it again, and then I can make it smaller. I can repeat last command by doing G. That's one of the shortcuts of Maya. Use G to repeat another one. Okay. One interesting thing is you can press G again to repeat last command in Maya, like G, like Google. I can, if I hold Shift, you can create a cube which has the same, like all the dimensions, they are the same proportion anywhere. Okay, good. So remember, with Alt, we can keep on navigating into the scene. Good. So some of the things I want to show you is we have some kind of ways of seeing this. Like basically here you have the wireframe, you have the scene mode. Okay, those things you can access them with the shortcut pressing 4 or pressing 5. When you press 6, you're going to texture mode already. Good. More things like, looking in your keyboard, you have 4, 5, 6, and then you have also, when you select any object, 1, 2, 3, which is a smooth preview. I will get to explain you this a little bit later, but basically Maya is working with polygons now from subdivision. So when you press 3, basically it's showing you the display of subdivision into a polygon geometry. Okay, so this is actually it's not real geometry. Real geometry looks like this. This is a preview, a smooth preview score. Okay, let's press it 3 and we'll keep it like that. You can do bookmarks. This I'm gonna skip it, and then basically you can save some view already, but I will explain this later on. We'll get into renders. Shading menu. There are some things like probably what we can do, and what is this tutorial about is about getting to know a little bit of the tools here into the viewport. So basically those are the shortcuts that we're talking, but also there's some icons here and some menus. So interesting things that maybe you're gonna use is the X-ray mode. So when you click here, you see the objects are really transparent. Disable it here. You can put the wireframe on top of shaded. So when you click this one, we see the wireframe into blue on top of the shade of the polygons, which is quite useful. And then there's some tools, like you can go through the PDF and check all of them. Like the bookmark is the one that is saving the view. I told you shading. You can use default shading. You can do X-ray, like many of the icons you have over here. You can find it here. Lighting. Used like two-side lighting is quite convenient to have it unchecked when you want to know which one is the right normal of the faces. Show, you can decide which kind of object you want to have visible. So if I uncheck polygons, nothing will be there. But basically they are there, it's just I'm not showing them. So I can check again polygons, I can check show none, and then just specify some of them, or show all. Render is about what kind of viewport engine using it. So viewport 2.0 is the one that's kind of by default. You have main array style, you have it here, or you have any other one. Panels is in order to choose what kind of perspective you can. We have already some perspective, or create new ones, or we can choose within some of the orthographic views and so on and so forth. You can tear off this window. Okay, so we can tear off a copy and then put it into second screen. Okay, watch out with second screens in Maya, because there's no way when you unplug it from your second screen that you bring things back. Okay, more things like the menu, highlighting those are the things that I was telling you. Yeah, you can go through that and try to get a little bit of overview. That's what I told you. The tear off. Let's get into some other things. Like this thing that you see here is the grid. You can disable it here by checking this icon. Okay, and you can go also under display grid and check it here. Okay, probably the other one is much more useful. Something I want to tell you, like all these menus, they belong to every viewport. So when you go to for views layout viewport, like everything you change here, it doesn't concern to that one. So here I have it in the wireframe mode, and this one is same mode. Okay, so they are totally independent. Remember, with the space bar, you go for another one. Sometimes what you see when I hit the space bar is that if you press the space bar and you keep it, you get kind of a it's called like hotbox. It's like a marking menu that you can go faster, because basically with this one you can select any menu you have here in Maya. Okay, basically it's kind of way of more a little bit faster. Never mind now. So the grid, you can customize your grid going under display grid. You click it here and you can change the units, and you can change the length and the width, but keep it like this, because I think it's good to have some kind of reference of scale. So when you follow the tutorials I'm doing, we are all more or less on the same page in terms of size and everything. Good. More things. Hotbox, that's what I showed you right before. It's quite important. I think it's quite important actually to keep your workflow kind of organized. So Maya is saving everything. You save in the default folder. You can decide it, wherever you want to save it. So you can say save as, save it in as, and you can do it wherever you want. But also I think it's also interesting when you do file, set project, or you say project window. Basically project window is show you like a kind of a layout that Maya can create around your folder. So basically when you have a folder, Maya can create all these subfolders in order to keep everything organized. So when you're doing animation, it will save everything under images, some data you need, some sound, all these things. Okay. In order to stop this, you need to on the file, set project, and choose one folder that you want to have it as the set folder where Maya will save everything. Okay. When you say set, this one was already set, so it didn't pop up the menu I want to show you. Set project. Let's try this one. You say set. Maya will give you this message saying, okay, the location doesn't have the mail space that they need in order to do it. What do you want to do? You want to select another location, create default workspace, or cancel. You can say create default workspace, or when you try to, so now it's already saved it, so it's set. So when you try to save again, it will go automatically to the folder that we set it. Okay, so it's quite convenient. Good, more stuff. You can import, export, as what I told you before, the plugin manager. You can load some things. I think it's interesting in terms of rendering. So when you go setting preferences, plugin manager, there are some render engines that you need to switch them on. So for instance, mental ray is called Maya to mental ray. So this one, if you're gonna use it, you should do it. Now the new Maya is coming with the Arnold render, and this is called M2OA. I mean, sometimes you need to know what is going on, because some names are not easy to guess. So this one also you need to load it, and I also have some kind of import export things since you're working with some other software, but I like Rhino. Once you finish, you can refresh and close it. Yeah. Marking menus, that's the next thing. That's the next and the last one I want to show you. Besides all these things that you can find in Maya, like all these menus here, you have some marking menus. Okay, so just quickly before I show you the marking menus, you here have the main issues, like you have new file, open file, save, go backward, control Z, go forward, some selection according to mode, some kind of snaps, some kind of a selection mask, some kind of snap you have it here. So you can make this surface live. I will show you this later. Some symmetry selections, history, some render icons, and then some kind of coordinates that we can do, and some menus here. These menus I'm gonna show you later, but actually we can display already. We have the toolkit, which is kind of a toolkit with some tools which are quite useful. We have the Humanic AI key. Right now we're not gonna use this one. I'm gonna close it. Actually, same for the modeling toolkit. We're not gonna use it now. We have the attribute editor, which is super useful because everything you select in the scene, by clicking here, it will show you what are the main attributes of this one. Then next one is the tool settings. Usually when you open Maya, this is like a floating menu, or sometimes it's coming on your left side. So I think it's quite convenient. Otherwise your viewport is too small and you need to be modeling here. It's quite convenient. You drag the tool menu and you group it here together with the attribute editor. Okay. And the last one is the channel box layer editor, which is really convenient in order to track the history of what you do with your object and how you can manipulate it. Okay, so all these three we will have them here, and you can go from one tab to the other one. The marking menus, besides all the things I show you, I forgot this one, sorry. The hotbox basically are the main tools. So this selection, this lasso selection and paint selection, I will show you this later. Move tool, basically you will get a manipulator to move, rotate, and scale. Okay, so this is the hotbox and this is the viewport layout. This is the last command you did, which will appear also here, and you just by clicking here, repeat it, so we can create the last command was create a cube, so you can create a cube. Marking menus, once again, every time you have something selected, when you do right mouse button, I'm gonna press Q, so there's no shortcut for this thing is Q, W is to move, E is to rotate, R is to scale. Q, W, E, R. So I'm gonna press Q, so there's nothing there. So what I was saying is when you right mouse button, you get the marking menu with some of the main features of the menu. When you have something selected like this object, the marking menu looks like this. When you click aside and nothing is selected, marking menu looks completely different. There are two kinds of marking menus. You can do just right click right mouse button, or you can do shift right mouse button. So when you do shift right mouse button with nothing selected, you will get already a menu to start creating the main polygon. So I can create a sphere, for instance, so on and so forth. If something is selected, so you can select things by clicking outside or clicking on them. If something is selected, then you do shift right mouse button, as I said before. Now the marquee menu is completely different. It gives you already some tool that you can operate on this selection. Okay, I think with this we have already like a we have like a really good starting point in order to keep on going. Okay, good. So let's go to second session.